Hello, friends. Hi. Welcome to join this week's Legal Design Thinking in real life. My name is Hannele and I'm from Lawyers Design School. And today we have a treat for you. We have a guest joining this weekly live session. We have a pleasure of meeting Kaisa Rissanen from SomeBuddy, a super interesting legal tech company. And we will hear a real life example of legal design in action. Welcome, Kaisa.
Thank you, Hannele, and thank you so much for the invitation. It's super exciting to be here. And so I'm Kaisa Rissanen, I'm the head of legal and operations at SomeBuddy, and I guess we will discuss a bit more what SomeBuddy does and how we have been implementing legal design and design thinking in what we do.
Yes, certainly. Would you like to tell us something about you first? What's your background and how did you end up in SomeBuddy?
Yeah, sure. So as mentioned, I'm a lawyer and I graduated 2 years ago, I think. And already during my studies, I've been really interested in how we can kind of like solve these legal issues with maybe new kind of methods. So when I heard about like legal tech and legal design, I was really like interested about it. And then it was almost by accident that I ended up at SomeBuddy. They just were like looking for new trainees during my studies, and their mission and what SomeBuddy does. So we help the victims of online harassment with this digital platform that we have. It just sounded really something that is so me. So it's kind of like how I ended up there, and yeah, it kind of like took me along, and still here. Yeah.
And how did you first learn about legal design?
I think I heard about it like during my study times. Maybe it was something that you, Hanna, had written somewhere because I think I've heard your name many times before. And of course, like after like starting with SomeBuddy, it's been more present in like in the work that I do, and also kind of like in different articles that I'm interested in like reading and looking for. And also I did my like master's thesis a little bit like about these topics uh, related to legal design and legal tech. So yeah, I think this like access to justice themes have been really important to me. So we kind of like legal design and how it can help access to justice is something that I've been interested for many years now.
It's so happy to hear that these themes are now already more and more already in the law school studies, part of the law school studies.
Yeah, definitely. I actually took part to this like hack the law with during my
Mm.
studies, which is really nice. Kind of like this new kind of uh, way of implementing the things that you've learned during the studies already then. Yeah.
Great. Well, what can you tell us about SomeBuddy as a company? What do you do and all that?
Yeah. So at SomeBuddy, we have this digital platform through which you can report if you've encountered online harassment or bullying, and then we give you professional help to the situation. So we have here a team of lawyers and social psychologists, some psychologists, and we provide you through the app legal assessments of the situation, concrete action plan, like how you could start resolving the situation, and also psychological support. We call it a survival kit. So we want to kind of like give the quick intervention and help in the situation before it escalates, and make the threshold as low as possible, so that you ask help when you maybe aren't maybe ready to ask help from anyone else. So yeah, and currently our biggest customers are cities and municipalities here in Finland. So we help many young people and kids, and also the like adults working with them.
Mm. So the users are from all different ages, or
Yeah, we have users from like age 7 to 70 like during the year. So yeah, pretty vast.
So what about legal design? How does that relate to somebody's work and business and services and all that?
Yeah, I think it's like it's involved in the everyday work life within somebody team, and like the first that comes to mind is that like we're a multidisciplinary team, so and it's been there kind of like right from the beginning, and also it has kind of like affected how the service is now. So it's not only that we give only legal advice in those situations, but kind of like that the user might need also other kind of help in those situations, concrete steps like what to do, or maybe getting the psychological advice how to kind of like survive the situation so that you're maybe ready uh, for the legal procedures and so on. So yeah, the multidisciplinary thing has been there right from the beginning, and I think it's still super important for example, for me as a lawyer to some other professional to say that, hey, this isn't understandable, or maybe the law and the kind of like the lawyer point of view isn't now the most important one, but maybe it's now the some other point of view that is more important for the user. So kind of like, yeah, it's there kind of like really important in thinking what is now the best help for the user.
Yeah, that's so interesting to hear so concrete example of people coming from different backgrounds, that you have psychologists and all kinds of people working together on these problems that maybe lawyers could then more easily think about just from the legal perspective, so that you need to look at the whole picture and really empathize with the user for each case.
Yeah, definitely. And also like it evolves the lawyer's thinking, so my own thinking to be able to work with other professionals and resolving the conflict with also other professionals than lawyers.
I can imagine. Why do you think that legal design is important, particularly in your work and in somebody's business?
Well, I think the design is super important for us because like we want our kind of our focus is on the individuals who we help. So we are here for the individuals. We want to help them in the best way we can, and that's been the mission right from the beginning. So of course, then the design thinking and kind of like being really user friendly and thinking how we can really help the user, how we can make the platform's interface understandable, our help understandable, the sentences, the words that we use, everything like understandable for the user. It's really crucial for us so that we kind of like can fulfill our own mission.
Yeah, it's great to hear that kind of you bring it even to the kind of the mission level, that it's actually in the core of what you are doing, the user
Yeah, definitely.
centricity. I must say that I saw your company presentation actually last week, and the way you began to present somebody in that event, you started with a user story. You took the entire audience kind of directly to your users' world and the experiences that they have, and that felt really powerful. Like we were able to witness the power of user centricity in that context. So I wanted to ask that how do you actually work with your users? Can you share something about that?
Yeah, so if we think the like development work of the app and so on, like before the actual, like when we uh, give our service. So when we've been developing the service, we've of course like interviewed especially like young people and kids, since we also have like young users, so that the app is like understandable and our service is understandable what we like provide them with. But yeah, in the everyday life, we have the like digital app through which we help our users, and there we can like also what is good, we can always kind of like through the data how they use the app and what they read and so on, we can get some insights on how we could still improve our service. Yeah.
I can imagine that especially when you have children and young people as your users, how important it is that they are at the core of the development process. They are involved in the work, so that they are not just adults thinking that maybe this is their problem and maybe this is the way they would like to be helped when they have some struggles. So in that sense, also I think that it's super important to have the users there, part of the process all the time.
Yeah, totally. It's kind of like that as an adult, it might be impossible to really have this user-friendly service for any like underage people without having some discussions with them, that what kind of help they even want and what kind of service would help them, and what are the kind of like the prerequisites for that they even come to the service. And that's, for example, like all these principles that we have, that it's anonymous and super low threshold and so on, are some things that have kind of like are a result of this like discussion with the users, that these like online harassments and bullying cases, they are super intimate sometimes, and you might be super embarrassed about them. And that's one of the reasons why it's pretty high percentage of the young kids who tell about if you've encountered bullying or harassment of that experience for your parents, for example, or any trusted adult. So kind of like all these discussions with the users have formulated how the app has been like and the service has been designed.
What kind of feedback do you get from your users or from your customers?
I think we get really good feedback. It's really nice to hear that that our answers help, and that people can, when we give the action plan, how you could resolve the situation, that people have taken the action and the situation has resolved. And also I think like having there the legal aspect and telling people about their rights, it's super empowering. So yeah, especially when it comes to social media and online environments, it might be pretty unclear for maybe even adults, that where goes the line, that what is legal and what is illegal, and has someone offended me or not, like legally. So yeah, I think it's like really good feedback that we get, that we kind of like have also the legal part there, but then also the concrete things and the psychological support, because at some situations they might not need any legal advice, but just like some nice words and something to kind of like move on from the situation with.
Yeah, that must be super rewarding as well for you as a lawyer, and of course for your whole team to see these stories, kind of then have some kind of a I don't know, happy ending, but anyways, that
Yeah,
people are able to
definitely.
move on.
Definitely, because yeah, I have to say that of course, like the everyday work and the cases that we have, it's kind of like the dark side of the social media in some level. So it's not just like happiness and flowers, so it's really rewarding, and of course really motivating also to make the service better and better, because we know that it's like real problems and severe like incidents and so on that these people are facing. So yeah.
Well, what would you like to say to someone if someone is now thinking that they are interested maybe in legal design, or would like to try it out or explore the possibilities, what it could look like in their own work or in their services? Would you have any words of advice or encouragement?
Yeah, well, yeah, I could start with like saying that I'm just a lawyer and not a like legal designer, and I can kind of like implement it in my everyday work. So that's kind of like the encouragement that anyone can do it. And for me, what like legal design means is kind of like just thinking everything from the point of view of the user, and just like focusing on the user and thinking, is this something that the customer or the user needs? And like, of course, a digital service is different than like some like old-fashioned legal services, but we always have customers, so you can always think the customer's point of view. And I think that's maybe the first step.
That's an excellent point. You don't have to make it too complicated to think that you have to do some huge development project, for example. You can start with your everyday work and the user perspective on that.
Yeah, definitely. And also what I've learned working in this multidisciplinary team is that I don't have to know everything by myself, and I don't have to do everything by myself. So there is legal designers, there is service designers, and if you have some idea that you would maybe want to uh, have some like more designed part of the thing that you're doing, so ask help from other people, from the legal designers and so on, that hey, would you have some ideas? Because yeah, as a lawyer, it might be a bit difficult sometimes to get out of your legal thinking and out of your head. So might be
Exactly.
welcome some outsider thoughts.
Exactly. And it can be so like just, do you have any ideas? You don't have to be so kind of, yeah, such a great advice. But hey, where can we find more information on SomeBuddy if anyone out there is interested in learning more?
You can visit our website, somebody.com, or we have also LinkedIn profile, somebody, so you can go follow us on LinkedIn, so you will hear our updates and so on. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Kaisa, so much for your visit today. It's been so good to hear a concrete and real life example of what legal design can look like in providing legal services. And thank you everybody for watching and or listening to our discussion today. And be sure to follow the next episodes where we'll be sharing more insight on legal design thinking in real life. Thank you for today. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.